looking down at number 5. Now, as these start to get mixed in with some of the easier problems, your first instinct may not be to separate. But if you look at what we're given that AB is congruent to PB, when we go to mark the drawing, it gets hard to do that because you see R's in the way. And that should trigger, oh yeah, these are overlapping triangles, and I need to separate them to make this easier for myself. So I'll make this one green and come over here and draw it, A, C, B. And then we have this one over here sitting on top of it. And if you notice, this looks a lot like number 2 that we did up here. And this is an example that really shows up a lot, where they're sharing this little corner down here. And we'll come over here and draw P, R, B. And I'll try to give you a little more space so you have some room. But just like in number 2, we should notice that they share this angle right here. This purple one is sitting on top of the green one. They both share angle B. So we'll mark that. We'll mark angle B is congruent to angle B because they're shared. And then come back up. Let's do the given. We should have probably done that first. But AB is congruent to PB. See, we can mark it now once we've separated them. AB is the same as PB. That was given to us. Usually you do given first, but you don't have to. And then we also have this marking that was here that they gave to us. And so sometimes they'll give us information by telling it. Other times they give us information by showing us in the picture. So A is the same as P. And I'm going to come down here and just make these 2 stripes just so we don't get those two confused. But A is the same as P. That was also given. And then once we got 3 things, we have now an angle, a side, and an angle. Remember, the order we write it in here doesn't really matter. It's what it looks like on the paper. And so now we got 3 things. We can say, okay, triangle ABC is the same as triangle PBR. And we know that because of angle, side, angle. Angle, side, angle. Again, we couldn't say angle and then skip all the way around here and skip an angle to get to an angle. We can't go angle, angle, side. It's angle. The very next thing that we name is the side, and then angle. Okay. We don't need CPCTC here because it's not asking us to prove another part, just asking us to prove those triangles. It's all done with 5. Alright, very last example, example 6. Now here we actually have several triangles, and I'm going to have to tell you which 2 I'm talking about. And here it's not written, so I'll just show you that we're talking about this one and this one. And these actually aren't overlapping. But this is P, Q, T, and then Q, R, T. Okay, and now they give us some information over here. And the first thing we probably should notice is that when we separated these 2 things, they had this side coming down the middle that they share. They're going to share QT. QT is the same as QT. They shared that one. Alright, so mark that down here. Now, this may be something we haven't seen before. QT, this means is perpendicular to PR, and this is going to have to take us back to Unit 1. QT, which is here, is perpendicular, which means this is a 90-degree angle, and that is a 90-degree angle. And come down here and mark these. We see, okay, those angles are the same. Now we can't say angle Q and angle Q because we're talking about two different angles. But we can maybe either number this and say angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. I find that easy. They're the same angle. Or you could have said PQT and QRT. Okay, we could have named it with 3 letters. That's fine. But we know that these two are the same because of that bisector right there, or because it's perpendicular. Okay, there's a couple different ways we could write that. I'm okay if you just put both 90 degrees. I mean, that's fine. You could also put a linear pair or supplements or perpendicular. There's different things you can write, and that's okay. QT bisects. Remember, bisects, if you don't know, write this down. Bisect means cuts in half. And so it cuts PR in half. This line does. If it comes through and cuts it in half, well, that means this is going to be the same as that. It's cutting it exactly down the middle. And I'm going to come and mark that over here. I'm going to use 2 just so I differentiate from that. So we now know that PQ, and this probably is one of the harder ones that we've done, but some of you have done so much practice, you're saying this isn't hard, I'm getting this, this stuff is easy. PQ and QR have to be the same because of that bisector. If it bisects it, it cuts it in half, you know they're equal. We got 3 things now. We got a side, we got an angle, and we got a side. So triangle PQT is the same as triangle RQT because of side, angle, side, side, angle, side. Okay, and we're almost done, but the problem tells us to prove that PT, which is this part over here, is congruent to that part. So we just go that last step and say, alright, well, if the triangles are the same, then I know their parts are the same. And we call that CP-CTC. That's it. That's all that we've learned in this unit. You have here this homework packet full of examples, full of notes. Please, please, please write down any questions you have. Go up and star things, make notes, do whatever you need to do to make sure you are successful. Okay, these videos are just designed to help you. Watch them as many times as you need to. And come ready to practice this stuff and become masters and experts at these congruency proofs.